Yeah, I'm gonna check my connection real quick to make sure I'm live on Facebook because I should be. Then we'll jump right into this thing. And this shouldn't take no more than, I don't know, 30 minutes. I'm assuming if you guys don't have any questions. Uh, our our speaker this morning canceled. We had another candidate who canceled this morning, so I'm assuming she's if she hadn't dropped out, she's gonna drop out pretty soon. And it was Sister Ebony Rain Eatman. Do you know her? Ebony Rain? Yeah, she canceled. Yeah, she was another candidate. Yeah, she dropped out. They don't have creamer here, huh, Will? They don't have creamer, do they?
They got about half and half milk.
That works?
It's okay.
Is it better than creamer?
Yeah, it's the same thing, really.
It's not as sweet as creamer.
No.
Yeah, I can't do coffee with no creamer, man. I just can't do it.
Oh, you want that?
I got to have some sweet, man. Yeah, I got to have some sweetness. I can't just do it like that.
Powder, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that, me, I'm gonna get to have it have it, but I like, fresh vanilla.
Uh-huh.
They don't have it.
Exactly, and that's my point. Some flavor in the coffee. Okay.
The regular, I would say milk.
Right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into
Sure.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, so I think I'm okay. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. We had our scheduled speaker. We had another candidate who was supposed to speak this morning, but she canceled. So I'm assuming that the 28 candidates we had running for the 18th, maybe it's about to be down to 27. I'm assuming she canceled because she's at. I'm assuming. I don't know. What'd you say? I know, right? That's all right. As a matter of fact, that we discovered that one last week when Will noticed that sign on that fence. That made number 28. Yeah, as rapidly as possible. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to talk about this morning, and then it hit me. I had an idea yesterday, but it really hit me last night as to how I was going to do this. So I want to stress the importance of us understanding how important this voting thing is, and also understanding how our enemies, those who are on the other side, how they operate, because they don't stop doing what they do. And this is not a one-time, first-time thing. They've been operating this way for a very long time. But because so many of our people aren't plugged in, aren't paying attention, doesn't understand this political thing, we don't get it. So I was very pleased with Brother Robert Slater's approach and his comments last week, in that he was saying, which I agree with 100%, we can't afford, us grassroots peoples, we can't afford to be stressing over what they are going to do. We have to get in front of what they're going to do, understand what they are doing, and then maneuver accordingly. So I'm going to play two clips from two documentaries. One is called Rigged, a documentary that's narrated by what's our brother's name? The excellent actor Jeffrey Wright. He's narrating it, and I'm just gonna play the intro, and then I'm gonna play a clip from a documentary. This documentary is so powerful. It's called Bad Faith. Have you seen it by chance, Yvonne? Bad Faith. Well, have you seen Bad Faith? Well, have you seen the documentary Bad Faith? Yeah. So this documentary is so powerful that we were doing citywide tours because it really shed light on the mindset of Christian nationalist conservatives, how they think, what they do, why they do it, and how they're so successful in doing it. And again, if we don't understand how they play chess, then of course, as we play marbles, we'll never win. So we got to step up our game, and I believe that what Brother Robert has pitched, and I'm going to share his flyer and what he's trying to do as well. So I'm going to play this first clip, and then I'm going to roll into the next clip, and then I'll come back and talk briefly about why I showed both. So give me a quick second to oh, and I didn't say so. Thursday morning breakfast is about us bridging the gap, being the bridge between those organizations that are doing good, righteous work in the community, as we need that work to be done, and making sure that we are working with them, we are assisting them in doing what they do to help the community move forward. So I'm going to play the first few minutes of this documentary, Rigged, and if you haven't seen it, I'm going to urge everybody to watch it because, again, it's very, very, very important that we understand how the game is played. Oftentimes, we we lose more often than not, because not only do we not understand how the game is played, but we ourselves aren't playing it. So if we don't understand how the game is played, and if we're not playing it, of course, we're going to lose. This is a team sport. God knows that the other side is very, very organized. And I'm not even sure if we're in the ballpark, most of us, the majority of our people. So we got to understand how this thing works, and we got to understand that it's a team sport, which means we got to play together as much as possible. Because if we don't do that, then of course we're going to continue to lose. I'm gonna play the first clip, then the second clip, then I'll come back to talk about next steps.
That we will never discover.
There is no belief.
What that? Right there.
We have
Turn 18, that was all right. I love the vote. It was instilled in us to vote. My grandma raised me up and my sister up to vote. You know, when we turned 18, that was all right. The address when I registered was 7660 Bridgewood Circle.
I'm gonna have you go and stand in that line so they can update you.
Okay.
All right. Next voter, please.
I need a picture ID.
I got an old one until I...
See what you have. Here, is this your address?
No, ma'am.
You have something with your address.
I'm at the begging place. She told me I could not vote at all because I got to re-register because I'm nowhere in that system. They're not making it easy at all. It's tiresome, yeah.
Yep, we got to clean the rolls up one way or another.
I happened to stumble across the Phantom Voter Project. I started looking at my neighborhood and started finding what I believe to be a bunch of fraudulent registrations and started investigating them. It's about time we turned the lights on in the kitchen and started cleaning the cockroaches out of here.
When I found out that I was purged off the rolls, and I was highly upset about it. Because, like I said, I grew up seeing my family vote. I know it's my God-given right today to vote, and I want to vote.
The challenge we have with the average voter suppression issue is that it's happening to people we don't pay attention to every day. And for the average citizen, it's not top of mind because it isn't as sexy, it isn't as violent, it isn't as present, but it can be the most insidious danger to our democracy.
the board found probable cause to go forward on a total of 3,564 voter registrations, challenges, all of which were submitted by Mr. Michael Hires.
Yariza, Burgos, Robin Bruns, Christopher Carmichael, Tina Carmichael, Justin Christopher Carter, Rachel Cheryl Carson.
Again, that's 3,564 of those challenges the board found probable cause on to go forward.
This is a big win, really, as far as the numbers go. Good golly.
This meeting is adjourned.
I'm Jeffrey Wright. My grandfather, born in 1904, was an oysterman on Virginia's Chesapeake Bay. And he instilled in every one of his children and his grandchildren the importance of the vote. Yes, I'm an actor, but also more importantly, an American, a citizen, a voter. And I'm about to tell you a scary story about how the core tenet of our democracy, one person, one vote, is under attack. Today, American citizens are being wrongly purged from voter rolls, others intimidated not to vote. Meanwhile, state after state has passed new voter restriction laws, making it harder for all of us to vote.
Okay, so that is the first clip. I'm going to roll into the second clip, and the second clip is the one, this is from the documentary Bad Faith, and as I said earlier, this documentary is so powerful. Once I saw it, I think I watched it twice. We organized a citywide tour to show this documentary to as many churches, nonprofits, grassroots organizations as possible. This is when we were doing from February of 2024, our build up to Project 2025, because we wanted the community to know as much as possible that these people were not playing games. This 900 plus page document was not a joke. They're very organized, they're very serious, and they have an agenda. And of course, if they have an agenda and they're organized around that agenda, it is going to happen. But because we're not organized and we're not paying attention, we are reactionary, which is why we lose so often, because we're on the back end of what they're already organized to do. And this is another reason why I think what our brother proposed last week is so important. So I'm gonna play this clip and then I'll come to share next steps. This is from the documentary Bad Faith. If you haven't seen it, Rig is on YouTube for free, no excuse. And I don't know who did it, but I'm glad they did it. But Bad Faith is also on document because it wasn't you had to pay for it at first. It's on YouTube as well. So watch both. But listen to what the last guy that's going to speak. Listen closely to what he says, because what he says, it gives you insight into how they think, and then you can understand how they think. You know how why they do what they do. What are you pointing at? Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, am I loud?
To send in $35,000. You need to send in that $100,000 check. If you do not write that P.O. box and you do not call that toll-free number, you will never see sustainment in your life and your dream will die.
So their whole worldview was to increase income disparity as a gesture of God's will. A lot of their writings sound as though they believe they have a direct line to God.
At the core of Weyrich political ambitions to overturn democracy was Rousas Rushdoony's vision of a theocratic government.
If democracy exalts man to the place of God and the will of man to the place of God, it will fail. And it is failing today.
One of the very foundations of Rushdoony's theology, often called dominionism, is to try to reconstruct the nation along Christian lines, according to the Bible, according to biblical foundations. And democracy, especially liberal democracy, isn't really necessary to that. As a matter of fact, liberal democracy is kind of the enemy.
And you think democracy has substituted what for the kingdom of God?
The will of the majority. The will of the majority.
If we love these liberals as we must, if we love these people who are, despite the terrible pain that it takes to even say it, helping to murder the unborn as we must, then we want what is right for them. And what is right for their immortal souls is to get them out of public policy in this country.
In Paul Weyrich's eyes, the goal was winning. The goal was conservative Christians in positions of power in being able to dictate how things go in our country, not ensuring that fair elections happen.
I don't want
not ensuring that fair elections happen. Listen to what he's about to say.
everybody to vote. Elections are not won by a majority of people. They never have been from the beginning of our country, and they are not now. As a matter of fact, our leverage in the elections, quite candidly, goes up as the voting populace goes down.
That is the perspective of the conservative Christian right. They don't want everybody to vote.
I know.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know that.
Oh.
And not only do they not want everybody to vote, but they're going to try very, very hard to do every single thing they can to make it difficult, if not impossible, for you to vote. So everything that happens in this country happens for a reason, and it happens because everything is about power. Everything they do is about amassing, keeping, generating more power for themselves. So I tell people all the time who balk about voting, you know, it don't matter, it don't change anything. It's the white man's thing, whatever. And I say to them, I ask them the question, if it was so important, if it was not important, why would they try so hard to keep you from doing it? So I'm going to share the next two things I'm going to share are flyers from Brother Robert Slater, who's running for Congress. I'm not sure the position that he's running for because the lines have been redrawn. I think he's running for the 29th. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was on the cover of our last magazine issue, and I think it's 29. I'll check and see. But I, as I said initially, I love the thinking because the thinking is about us getting out ahead of what's happening as opposed to being reactionary to, yeah, he's running for the 29th. So as he talked about last week, and I'm sure you guys have heard it in the news, I don't think I have the map up. The congressional lines in Texas have been redrawn. It's already done. There's nothing we can do about that. Like I was telling people with Project 2025, it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is work to slow it down and maneuver around it because it's going to happen. So I love the concept because this mindset, this thinking, this plan puts us grassroots people in a position to not focus so much on the anger, the distraction, the quorum. All of that matters, but what matters most is the solution. So he has organized, and Amanda Edwards is a part of this as well. I told him he should have her picture there. Then he sent me another flyer because they got more than one flyer. So I love the idea because this is about not waiting for other people to do whatever they're going to do. It's about getting in front of it. If they want to redraw the lines, and okay, if you're going to redraw the lines, we're going to meet you at where those lines have been redrawn, and we're going to start mobilizing and organizing there. The concept puts us as a community, as a grassroots people, as a grassroots group, it puts us in front of what they're trying to do and limits us being so reactionary. So I'm going to give you guys a few bullet points as far as what I've gleaned from this and his press conference, and his press release, and my understanding of what he said so far. And he's having a Zoom call tonight. I don't know what this one is. I don't know. I might be a mistake. But it's tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central. So if you can, yeah. Oh, slash. Oh, maybe so. Okay, amen. Now I don't see a QR code. Oh my Lord. Okay, so yeah, and I told him that this link wasn't working. So hopefully he's fixed that. But if he hasn't fixed it, it hasn't been fixed, and you want to get the login information, the Zoom code. I'm assuming it's gonna be on Zoom. I don't know. Just reply in the comments below, or send me a text or a message, and I will make sure you have that information. Because I think if you disagree with all of it, the worst that can happen is that you have more information about something that you might disagree with. That's the worst that can happen. But the good news is that you might realize that you're in alignment with the thinking. You might be able to help. What'd you say, Will?
Yeah, that's it for that, right?
Yeah. Once I get it, I'll send it to you because as of yesterday, that wasn't working. I told him about it, so maybe he'll fix it. So overall, the name or title that I've gotten from this is Game On at top. Community Mobilization Action Plan. Yeah. Okay, so the purpose is to, quote, build a frontline coalition to out-organize, outsmart, and outlast this coordinated attack on our communities. These are the districts that have been redesigned, realigned, gerrymandered, and it really depends on your thinking. Instead of, we've been focusing on persons who are running for the 18th for the special election in November, but this puts communities in play for 7 districts. We simply have to be organized to make sure that we have the right people in place. The overall goals: flipping targeted districts. This is one they're targeting for themselves. We want to flip those as much as we can. Defending legacy districts, older districts like the 18th that has been redrawn, gerrymandered, and what's the brother's name? Green. What's Green's first name? Yeah, Al Green's district has been decimated. It is gone. Yeah, Yeah. So that is a legacy district that's been predominantly Black for a minute, but because they are doing this gerrymandering thing, we're losing a power base there. So we got to figure out how we're going to get that back. And then that's what a legacy district is, a district that's been for a very long time, like the 18th, held by Black people. Combating gerrymandering, that's redrawing of the lines. Voter protection and turnout. And lastly, regional strategy hubs where you want to have meetings around the city about the strategy and what they want to do. So that's the overall goals and strategy. The tactics are regional strategy hubs, cross-district town halls and organizing sessions leading to 2026 primaries, and multi-district command centers. I like this one. Align mobilization, support, marketing, resource pipeline, and leadership structure. So as I played in the first clip of Rigged, if you didn't know, let me tell you that they do cheat. They've been cheating for a minute. So if you don't understand what they do and how they do it, you will always fall victim to the cheating. So that first documentary narrated by Brother Jeffrey Wright is called Rigged. You absolutely must watch it because you have to understand how all this stuff works. That's the first one. And the second one, Bad Faith. Again, we were doing a citywide tour of that documentary because it gave you insight into how they think, their philosophy, their strategy, and what they do and how they do it. And unfortunately, for poor people who don't look like us, they are used as pawns for people who look like them with money because they don't realize also that they are being played. And it's unfortunate for them that so many of them thought that DEI meant black. And because they thought DEI meant black, they voted against their own best interest. And they didn't know DEI meant veteran. DEI meant your special needs child. DEI meant a woman-owned enterprise or business. And now they're feeling the brunt of everything that they said they wanted to do with via Project 2025. They are now doing. So again, if we as grassroots communities, if we don't get hip to how they cheat, if we don't get hip to how they think, how they maneuver, and if we don't get with these sorts of measures to put us in front of the maneuvering, the gerrymandering, the cheating, then of course we're always going to lose. So I wanted to share that briefly this morning and encourage all of you guys that are here, you guys are online, that if you're available this evening at 7 p.m., 7:30, 6:30, 6:30, you sure? Oh, okay. It's still, I don't know. It's broke. So I don't know. Okay, Brother Robert, if you're watching this, your link's not working. So the people are unclear. Where the revolution meeting at? Yes, ma'am. Okay, what I say? Okay, 6:30. My bad. Yeah, that's might be 7 CPT. Okay, so yeah, Brother Robert, if you're watching this, well, I'm gonna make sure that your link ain't working. Fix that. That's not good. So thanks, Brother Will. I appreciate it. So once we get the link working, once he gets that fixed, go to the link that's on the flyer. If for whatever reason you can't get to it, I'll make sure I get that information from him today. Text me, message me, put something in the chat, and I'll make sure you get that moving forward. This is a big deal. It's a big deal for a lot of reasons. When Trump said, I need 5 districts, his minions went to doing what they do. And again, if we're not paying attention, we'll end up losing. Having political power, especially on a local level, matters because that is your day-to-day life. That's how you live. That's how you do. That's how you strive and move forward, thrive and move forward. So it's important that we understand this because if we're not paying attention, we'll have ourselves in a position whereby this state is completely ran by people who think absolutely differently than we do. And everything that they are cutting out, everything they have cut out, all the jobs, the tariffs, all this stuff will become a permanent reality because we won't have the political power to push back because we won't have the numbers and the votes. And as Jeffrey Wright said in the beginning, one man, one vote. As long as it's one man, one vote, one woman, one vote, one person, one vote, we have a chance. But if that changes, voting is our last legal opportunity to create change. And if that gets taken away, then what happens after that could be quite ugly. So on that note, before I close out, anybody got any questions about anything? Everybody good? Cool. Okay. Hopefully you guys will make it to the call tonight. Again, once that link is fixed, I will share it. I will remind Brother Robert that is not working, and we will go from there. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Again, our speaker this morning canceled. I don't know if that means she is dropping out of the race or not. I don't know. But coming to an event where people will want to hear you talk about your campaign seems pretty important. So, I'm not sure if we're down to 27 candidates or not, but so with that, I wanted to share what's coming because of course, having 27 candidates is a lot. and we have to find a way to whittle that down and focus on not a redrawn district, but the 7 new districts that are coming online, I think within a year. The special election is in November. Will, do you by chance know when the next actual election will be for these new districts? Do you know? Is it
The next one?
the next election for these new districts? Will it be in March?
November.
Be in November of next year or 2027?
Oh, for the one,
For the new ones.
for the seat, hasty, for the.
Not for the 18th, for the ones that have been redrawn. At some point, they got to have an election for those redrawn seats. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna have some time, at least a year and a half to get ready. So, it takes time to mobilize and organize, to educate. And in order to do so, you got to be plugged in and paying attention. So on that note, I thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. And we will see you next Thursday. Next Thursday will be our first panel discussion. We have 5 candidates, well, 4 now, that are coming out to for our first panel discussion. And it'll be a first time of us having several people who are running in one room at one time. So if you are available, and if you want to have a chance to see all the candidates at once and speak to them, we'll be doing that next Thursday. That'll be our first panel discussion, and then the next one is September 11th. I have one thing to share as far as community events. Before I share this and we close out, does anybody have anything they want to share as it relates to community stuff? Oh, no. Okay, cool. All right, so you guys have heard me talk. I've been talking about this situation for a very long time with the sexual predator discovered at Worthing High School, and the lack of action from HISD on down as it relates to letting parents and guardians know and taking care of the children. So we're having our first of many community events to help parents, guardians, community members, employees of HISD, students know certain things about how sexual predators behave, how they maneuver, so you can protect your child, you can protect yourself. And we have 2 very, very, very powerful speakers speaking tomorrow, Friday at 3:30 at Sunnyside Multipurpose Center. The topic of the first sister, Dr. Nisi, is Insights into Safeguarding Childhood, what every parent should know about sexual predators. This is what she does full time. She has, I think, at least 2 nonprofits focusing on sex trafficking. So this is what she does. This is what she does. This is what she's known for. And she's coming out to help us do this thing because, of course, she wants to make sure the kids are safe. And Sister Amanda has an organization called Panda Oasis. She's more on the lines of spiritual development and healing. And she's going to talk about how healing can begin with you, the individual, if you know how to go about doing that. That's not where it stops, but that's where it has to begin. So as a community, we have to do these kinds of things because, of course, obviously, those that are in power who should be doing this, from HISD on down, they're simply not. And I can only conclude that they're not doing these things because they don't care. Went to speak to city council once, went to school board twice, and the lack of the disinterest in the room with what I was talking about, and the fact that nobody came up to talk to me afterward and offering assistance was an easy conclusion for me to make, that they simply don't care. So if those in power don't care, and those that know are in denial, then who's going to protect the children? The community has to, because no one else is doing it, and that's why we're having this event. So if you're available, we'd love to see you out tomorrow. And we'll also be supporting a back to school drive that Saturday, where they are expecting up to 1,000 people at Sunnyside Multipurpose Center. It's going to be an awesome opportunity for us to connect with parents, because one of those schools is Worthing High School, and we'll be there for that as well.
You talk about the election for Grand Avenue.
It could be. I don't know. My question was, that's next year. What month? Is it November? Okay, so I would assume, Brother Will, that that's when these other seats will be up for some leadership. I would assume, but I don't know. So if they have redrawn these lines, at some point, those lines have to have an election to see who's going to lead the people.
City council.
No, the congressional lines that have been redrawn.
Oh, congressional. Okay.
Yeah. So would that be November next year as well, or do you know?
What's wrong?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Google Fast gonna be clicking off in about 5
There
seconds.
goes-
So, thank you guys very much. We'll see y'all next Thursday. Take care. God bless. Have a good one.